I spent hours playing every game mode made by Epic so that you don't have to. Let's put them on a tier list and see where they rank. Okay, so the first game that I attempted was actually OG. Now this one was quite a bit of fun. It was build, which I do not prefer, but honestly, I was surprised with how much fun I had in build mode in OG. So I'm not going to go all the way up to super fun. Like I said, it's build mode for me. I don't like it, but I will go fun on this one. It was a good time. Next up, we have the build Battle Royale for Chapter 6 Season 1. This one, I did not have as much fun as OG, actually. I thought I was going to, but it turned out that I just didn't enjoy playing this one as much. I just didn't care, which is funny because I generally prefer the newer seasons. But that was that. That led me to Ranked Reload was the next one on the list, actually. And I did not have a lot of fun playing Ranked Reload, at least in build mode. I actually really love the reload maps. I love the concept, but I did not have fun. And so for me, it wasn't great. Like, it just wasn't something that I enjoyed. So if you're a builder, you really might like it. If you're not a builder like me and primarily play zero build, you might not like it as much. But honestly, the weapon pool is great. The map is fun, being, you know, from chapter 2 and everything. Overall, it is a fun game mode. I just didn't have a lot of fun on it myself. That actually brings us to a different type of game mode here with Lego Odyssey. Now, this one I'm going to put in fun as well because although it is a fantastic game mode, it's one that once you beat kind of once, unless you really like those type of game modes, you might not want to keep replaying it. And so I wanted to keep that in mind as I gave the rating of this one, because I know that it's so different for each and every person, and this game mode itself does stand out, but it isn't enough to hit the super fun just because once you beat it, I don't feel like there's much to go back and do. So the replayability is what brings this one down for me from hitting that top spot. All right, that brings me to Ranked Battle Royale. Well, yes, you're thinking here, if I enjoyed mid, I'm tempted to put it on never play again. But you know what? It's probably the same line as the ranked line of the rate. Wow. It's probably the same line as the Ranked Reload for me, where it's just not my cup of tea. But obviously, if you're a builder, you're going to be wanting to play the build mode for the ranked version. So not surprised that they are by any means either. All right, that brings us to the Fortnite Festival main stage. I love Fortnite Festival. It's going to actually hit the top spot for me. It is so much fun. I love that you don't have to buy the jam tracks, right? You have some that you are just for free and they rotate, or if you do want to purchase them, you can. And now with the addition of the guitars and such becoming pickaxes and things like that as well, it's just all the more fun to get into the music pass and the Fortnite Festival itself. So for me, this one's a lot of fun. You can obviously replay it as much as you want, and it's great with friends. Not to mention some cases it does support like the guitar and different things like that you can play. So lots of fun on Fortnite Festival, and that's why it's going to hit the top spot for me. Next up, that brings us to Zero Build for Chapter 6. You guys guessed it. It's going right to super fun. I am a zero builder. I actually started my Fortnite journey back in Chapter 3, Season 1. So I know a lot of you are going, oh my gosh, this guy don't even know what he's talking about. You're right, I don't. I didn't play the OG seasons. And I actually am sad that I didn't get to experience them because I've heard so many amazing things from them. But with the experiences that I have in Fortnite, I really like Zero Build, and Chapter 6 Season 1 has hit my sweet spot. So I enjoyed playing this mode as I experimented with each and every one. All right, that brings us to OG Ranked. Now, as much as I liked OG, I would give the Ranked for build mode in particular down to the mid. Like I said, I don't like build. So a lot of you builders out there might think that I'm really biased because I am. But it's just not what I prefer. But I know that builders out there might say this is the best game mode that has ever existed. So I really do want to hear your thoughts. If you're a builder, if you're a zero builder, what do you prefer and why? I want to know. Plus, if you have any tips for helping me get better at building, let's be honest, I need it. Now, we're going to change gears a little bit more again because there's so many modes by Fortnite. And next up on our list is Ranked Ballistic. Now, this game is fun. It is a lot of fun. I enjoy the ballistic mode. My biggest problem with it is that you have to win 7 rounds. it makes it feel so painstakingly long. You get to the end of the round and you just hope that it's over. But it is a fun mode. It's early access as well, right? And it's a great way to play ranked and also play unranked as well, with your buddies and with your friends. So I think it is a great game mode and definitely reaches a different type of player than what Fortnite might have before. That brings us now to Lego Brick Life. You already saw me drop it and then never play again, but that's because why would you play this game mode? I was not going to lie, I was a little excited for when it came out, right? I love like sim games, I guess you could say, building up your community, doing your thing. And so when I heard Lego Brick Life was coming out, I was actually excited, especially because my wife loves these types of games. So we jumped in on launch day and it was terrible. So giving it a try again when I was doing this challenge, it was the same. Although there was some bugs that had obviously been fixed, like you could keep your house that you placed this time. It just wasn't very fun. I didn't enjoy it. Obviously, I didn't have my chat on. I just don't like how the majority of chats can be toxic, although I do love social games. And so maybe if you're someone that's a really big social person and wants to chat and use the chat box, potentially could be a better game mode for you. But I just don't feel like there's much to do and there's not much even to worry about or progress. So I will probably never play Lego Brick Life again. And if I do, it'd be on very rare occasions. All right, so that brings us to OG Zero Build. You know what, y'all? I love Zero Build, and you know that. And I'm actually not a big fan of OG. Outside of this season, this OG Chapter 1 Season 2, I've really, really liked. I didn't actually like Chapter 1 Season 1, and I know that's a controversial opinion, so please don't fight me. I'm a kind soul. But it's just not my cup of tea, right? OG. But OG Zero Build this time around, I've really, really enjoyed. I like that the loot pool is so much more simple than what we have today. And that's also why I like current versions. I like the contrast between the two. So for me, this is a super fun game mode and one that I play quite often. That brings us to another interesting one, Save the World. Now, I know some people really, really like this game mode. For me, it's not great. I played it to get some Battle Royale XP, to level up my Battle Pass, but to just dive in and want to play Fortnite, I don't think of Save the World. And what just blows me away is that this mode was what Fortnite was. And so I think it is cool, and it's definitely worth buying if this is something that you like to play. But for me, it's just not my favorite. In fact, that's why I have no gameplay on it, because I've played it enough and I've played it recently enough that I didn't want to play it again, which is why it's on the not great category. So that brings us to Reload. This is the build version of Reload. You guessed it. It's going right into not great for me. Why? It's build. I don't like build. How many times am I going to say that? Let's count. I don't like build. But anyway, I know some people really like this. Like I said, I love the reload mechanics, but it just wasn't fun. And so even playing it through this time, I was reminded of how bad a builder I am. But that's that. Let's move on. So that brings us to the just ballistic normal mode. Personally, it's mid. Here's my thing with it. And I did play both ranked and unranked for this because I've got to give a proper challenge, right? So there's no difference, obviously, outside of you gain progression in one and you don't in the other. For me, I love progression. I love feeling like I'm accomplishing something. And so I would always play the ranked mode over the unranked, which is why I'm just putting in mid. But honestly, it could be either or depending on what type of game you like to play. That brings us to ranked zero build. Now, believe it or not, although I loved playing Zero Build Chapter 6 Season 1, I don't like playing ranked as much. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, Thomas, didn't you just say that you only like to play ranked modes for progression? I did, but I also like to have fun. And I feel like the Zero Build ranked is not as fun as playing unranked. I don't know if there's just too many sweats, if I just suck at the game, which is true, or if there's just not enough players for me to feel like I'm grasping something. Because in Zero Build ranked, if you've ever played it, you're put in lobbies of all sorts. So instead of just playing where you actually are in your rank, you're playing higher and lower because there's just not enough players to support it. So for me, that's why I'm putting this in just the fun category and not the super fun. All right, that brings us to ranked zero build OG. This, though, is actually going all the way up to super fun for me. Now, yes, I just mentioned player base. This one doesn't have a large one, but when you play with a friend, me and one of my buddies have been playing this. We've had so much fun playing zero build OG. And it just has blown me away once again that I'm really enjoying OG. All right, that brings us to Reload Zero Build. I love Reload Zero Build. This one's probably a super fun game mode for me and probably one of my favorites. So I'm probably going to readjust this top line a little bit. But I loved Reload Zero Build, and right below it is ranked. So both of those are going to come right up to the super fun category for me. I love the fact that you can come back to life. So if I'm playing solos, I almost always go to Reload. If I'm playing duos, I'll go into OG or Chapter 6. So that's kind of how I view these things. But when I was playing Reload, both ranked and unranked, I was just having the time of my life. The new weapon pool just came out as well when I was trying these game modes. And so it was a lot of fun to dive in and see what it was all about. And of course, the map is still the same right now. So I was able to keep going back to my same landing spot that I've grown accustomed to. And honestly, there's no better way to just jump in and play the game. All right, that brings us to Rocket Racing. Now, Rocket Racing is going to go into the fun category for me. I think it's such a different game mode, and it's just a lot of fun to play. But when I was trying it this time around, let me tell you, I don't know what was going on with my settings, but it might just be better for you to take a look. Yeah, basically, I was becoming an awesome Olympian, and I was going to see how many flips I could do. It was just crazy what was going on, but it's a lot of fun, and definitely a game mode that if you need something different but you still want to play Fortnite, definitely recommend. All right, so that brings us next to the Festival Jam stage. For me, it's a never played again. Like, here's the thing, right? Like, if you want to just go hang out and be chill, it's great. But I would rather do the main stage than the Fortnite Jam stage. My personal opinion, do you guys like the Jam stage? Let me know because I'm curious. I just didn't get into it. Next up, Party Royale. Also going into the never play again for me. I jumped in for the first time ever. I don't think I'd played this game mode before, and I understood why. It's just not my cup of tea. Once again, if you're a very social person that loves to talk to people through mic or text chat, this could be a really great game mode for you. It's super chill, vibes are up, but it just was not my thing. It's not what I look for, and I'm going to log into Fortnite. That brings us to creative. Now, although this is another mode that I didn't try during this challenge, it's because it's so different that I didn't feel the need to. In fact, it almost needs to have its own section, but for now, I'm going to put it at mid because it's not super fun or super great unless you are obsessed with wanting to create something in game. And if that is you and you really do enjoy that, you are going to love creative. But now with UENFN out as well, I think I said that right. There's so many more options for you to be creative on Fortnite maps. And so this is a mode that's still really great if you want to create your own game mode or experiment with something, but it's just not what you're going to just jump down in and play all the time, I don't think. So I'll put it on mid for now. That brings us to Team Rumble. Honestly, it's going to go into the never play again for me. I didn't like it. I've played it before when I have a large group of people, right? When there's like 10 of you that want to play together. Believe it or not, it happens sometimes when you have big families that play Fortnite. But I did not enjoy it. I think it's nice that you can come back to life after you die, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't enjoy it. And it wasn't something that I wanted to spend my time doing. So that brings us to the Fortnite Battle stage. This one is a mid game mode. When I was playing it, I had some fun, but you not being able to control the songs that you get to pick at least sometimes and different things like that can make it feel really long instead of fun and exciting. So I'm going to place it on the mid tier for now. Watching this video, I actually made this tier list on Tier List Maker, and I put the link in the description below because I'd love to see what your tier list is. Also, comment to me what your favorite game mode is to play by Fortnite. We'll see you guys on the next one.